You know those difficult moments. Maybe you just left a tough meeting where your ideas kept getting shut down. Your chest feels tight, your thoughts are spinning, and your hands are already pulling out your phone. You scroll past a dozen other contacts because you're looking for one specific person. Maybe it's your partner or your best friend since college, or maybe that mentor who's always had your back. Your brain knows exactly who you need in this moment, and nobody else will do. Hey everyone, I'm Ovid and welcome back to Alchemy. For those just joining us, we've been exploring attachment theory, one of psychology's most powerful frameworks for understanding human relationships. If you haven't caught our first two videos on what attachment theory is and its fascinating origin, you'll find them linked in the description below. Today, we're talking about something I'm really excited to share: why attachment theory actually matters in your daily life. Picture this. You're sitting in your car in a parking lot, gripping the steering wheel, staring at test results you didn't want to hear. Your throat feels tight, and suddenly you're hit with this overwhelming urge, almost like a physical tug in your chest, to hear one particular voice. Not for advice, not for solutions, but because something in your brain knows that when this person says, "I hear you," or "I'm here for you," your racing heart will instantly slow down and the world will just feel a little bit less wobbly. It's almost like they have this magical power to help our nervous system remember how to breathe. There are also those big life moments that test your courage. You could be standing backstage before giving the biggest presentation of your entire career, or you could be sitting in front of a blank email, about to resign from your stable job to start your dream business. And your hands might be shaking, but then you remember how this person, this could be your mother, your partner, your best friend, looked at you last week when you doubted yourself. You can literally see their expression, hear the exact words they said, and their tone when they said, "You've got this. You've been ready for this for years." And somehow just remembering this moment, picturing that absolute certainty in you, helps your shoulders drop an inch. And although you can still feel that fear, you also feel the steady warmth of their belief, like a supportive hand at your back. Or maybe you'd be in the same situation, but when that wave of fear hits, there's no steady voice to remember. No one's face comes to mind showing that unwavering belief in you. Instead, your brain serves up echoes of past disappointments, a parent who always expected failure, or relationships where support was conditional. These thoughts instantly affect your physiology. Your hands aren't just shaking now, they become ice cold. That knot in your stomach suddenly feels like it's made of lead. The world feels impossibly huge and you feel terribly small. Like you're that child again who learned early on in life that no one would catch you if you fell. These deeply different experiences, these moments of support or profound aloneness, reveal the invisible force that shapes our lives. This is your attachment system in action. This incredibly sophisticated emotional infrastructure has been quietly shaping your life since the day you were born. And here's what's fascinating. It's not just about who you call when you're down. It's about how you handle stress, how confidently you pursue your goals, even how you think about yourself. Understanding how the system works can be an absolute game changer, because suddenly those patterns in your life that seemed confusing or random or puzzling start making perfect sense. Let me share a story from one of our therapists at Alchemy that perfectly illustrates this. They were working with a client, it's not her real name, but let's call her Anna, who kept hitting the same wall in relationships. Now, every time a relationship started getting a little bit serious, she'd find herself pulling away. She'd start noticing just little flaws in her partner, picking fights over small things, maybe even fantasizing about her ex. Working with our therapist, Anna started connecting the dots to her childhood. She remembered how growing up, every time she got really close to her mum, really dependent on that, connection, where she started feeling really safe, something would always happen. Her mum would start drinking again or disappear for days with a new boyfriend. Young Anna learnt a painful lesson very quickly. Getting too close meant getting hurt. So she develops a brilliant survival strategy for the time. Whenever things got too intimate, too secure, her brain would sound an alarm, like danger, danger, pull back before you get hurt. And this strategy had saved little Anna from so much pain. It protected her heart when she was the most vulnerable. But now, at 32 years old, this same pattern was sabotaging the deep connection she desperately wanted. Once she understood that it wasn't just her being scared of commitments, but instead her brain trying to protect her using an outdated survival map, everything shifted. Anna's story illuminates something far deeper than just relationship patterns. We're looking at an incredibly sophisticated survival system that evolution has been fine-tuning for millions of years. Think about what happened in Anna's young brain. Without any conscious thought, without anyone teaching her, her mind created this intricate protection heuristic. That's the attachment system doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. The emotional immune system, constantly scanning for threats and adapting its defenses, was doing its job. Just like your physical immune system remembers every virus it's ever fought and creates specific antibodies to be ready for the next time, your attachment system remembers every emotional wound, every betrayal, every moment of abandonment. And it creates these incredibly specific protective responses, like Anna's ability to spot tiny flaws in a relationship before it gets too intimate, or that instant impulse you have to call your person when you're stressed, or even that unconscious way you might hold people at arm's length if you've been hurt too many times before. And like your immune system can sometimes overreact with allergies or autoimmune responses, your attachment system can also become overprotective. Those defenses that once kept you safe end up blocking the very connections that you need to thrive. And the good news here is that once you understand the system, once you can see these patterns for what they really are, you can start updating your mental map and move forward in a better direction. Your attachment system isn't just your emotional bodyguard, because it can also be your launch pad for growth. Think about those moments when you are feeling completely secure in your key relationships. Maybe you're having dinner with your partner or your best friend, feeling totally accepted, totally understood. In that moment, the brain isn't scanning for threats or maintaining defenses. Your mind suddenly has all this extra processing power that was tied up in protection mode. You suddenly find yourself dreaming bigger, thinking clearer. That business idea you've been sitting on, it just doesn't seem so scary anymore. That cross-country move you've been contemplating starts feeling possible. Even small things like trying a new hobby or speaking up more in meetings feel and actually do become easier. We see this all the time with our therapy clients. Once they start developing more secure attachments, they often come in buzzing with stories about changes that they didn't really expect. Finally signing up for art classes, standing up to their boss. Their secure relationships created this invisible safety net, which made them braver, more willing to take these positive risks. Think back to our earlier examples or reflect on Anna's journey. As she began understanding her attachment patterns and building more secure relationships, the changes rippled far beyond her romantic life. She started being more proactive in her career, setting boundaries with her family, and even trying solo travel for the first time. This is what secure attachment can create for us, a foundation that turns your emotional security system from a prison guard into your biggest cheerleader. Let me break down 3 specific ways in which your attachment system does this. The first is called the secure base effect. We've all seen it in action when young children are learning to walk. A toddler might take those first wobbly steps, but then turns back to check their parents' faces. Are they watching? Are they smiling? Are they ready to catch me if I fall? That quick check-in gives them the courage to venture just a little bit further. Maybe try that exciting but slightly scary step over the doorway threshold. Another glance back, and another surge of courage. Another small adventure. But here's what really blows my mind. We never outgrow that pattern. It's like we all have this invisible tether to our secure attachments. The stronger and safer that connection feels, the further we're willing to venture out of our comfort zone. Just like that toddler checking back in with their parents. We're constantly, unconsciously checking in with our secure base as we navigate life's challenges. The second way your attachment system shows up in daily life is through emotional regulation. You know those moments when your emotions feel like a pot that's just ready to boil over. Your heart could be racing, your thoughts spinning, and you get on the phone with that one specific person and somehow your breathing slows and the world stops feeling like it's gonna end. This isn't just emotional support, it's your nervous system syncing up with someone who feels safe to you. It's like having a human reset button. What's fascinating is that this effect is so powerful, you don't even need that person to be physically present. One of our clients keeps a saved voicemail from his mum for exactly this reason. When he's feeling a bit too stressed, just hearing her voice helps his nervous system remember how to be calm. And the third effect of attachment moves beyond emotions into your physical health. It shows up in measurable ways in your body. When people develop more secure relationships, they often start sleeping better, getting sick less often, even having fewer headaches. The research reveals something which I think is quite remarkable. People with secure attachment patterns typically show lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Their blood pressure tends to be more stable. Their immune systems function more effectively. And it all makes sense when we think about it. Chronic stress takes a massive toll on your body, and secure relationships will help buffer that level of stress. When you have that secure attachment, you're more likely to go to the doctor when something feels off because you have someone who notices and someone who cares. You're more likely to stick to your medication schedule. You're even more likely to maintain healthy habits, whether that's regular exercise or consistent sleep, because you have someone in your corner who helps you prioritize taking care of yourself. We all have these deeply ingrained beliefs about relationships that formed early on in our lives. Maybe you learned that people always leave when things get tough, or that showing vulnerability is the same as getting hurt. These patterns can feel permanent, like they're just part of who you are or how the world works. But they're not. And the good news is your brain is constantly updating its understanding of how relationships work well into adulthood. Every time you have an experience that challenges those old beliefs, your brain takes notes. Every time someone shows up when you expect them to leave, stays present when you show imperfection, or responds with care when you take a risk, it's like your brain is collecting evidence that maybe the old rules don't apply anymore. It's not about erasing the past, it's about creating new pathways and new possibilities. That's the vision behind Algo Alchemy. Understanding these patterns isn't just fascinating, it's life-changing. Whether you're navigating relationship challenges, working on personal growth, or simply curious about why you react the way you do in certain situations, visit us at algoalchemy.dev to book your first therapy session and start improving your life. Guys, thank you so much for exploring the science of human connection with me today. Until next time, keep growing, keep connecting, and remember, every new understanding is a step towards transformation. All the best, guys. See you next time.